You here for the secrets? The secrets on how to make the most yummiest, delicious, tastiest, scrumptious apple pie you have ever baked or taste? Then you're at the right place. Hi, I'm Deanna, and welcome to Turtle's Tasty Treats, where we make baking from scratch easy. And today, you're going to learn how to make the perfect apple pie. And it all starts with an apple. That's right. Apples is the key ingredient to your apple pie. Now you have to make sure that you pick the correct apple for the most perfect apple pie. Now, Granny Smith, which I'm holding in my hand, is the go-to apple for an apple pie. It's tart, it's firm. That means it will hold up over the period of time that it takes to bake. The tartness pairs well with all of the sugar and the butter that we'll be adding in. But I just don't stop with a Granny Smith. I also add in a few Pink Ladies, a few Gala, and a few Golden Delicious. Now, notice I said golden, not red delicious. Steer away from red delicious. They're yummy to eat, yummy to make applesauce, but not yummy for your pie. Red delicious apples are going to turn into mush under the heat of baking. But Golden Delicious, although it is going to kind of break down a little bit, it's kind of that semi-sweet tartness that is a perfect balance when you're adding all of the different flavors of these different apples together. I promise you, combining these few different apple types together, perfect pie. Now, let's go ahead and get started with peeling the apples. Now, I've already washed and made sure that my apples are nice and clean. I am going to be using 5 pounds of apples. Oh, yes. So, go ahead and get your knife or peeler or whatever you use to kind of get the apple skin off. And go ahead and take that apple skin off. Now, my mama, she would love these apple skins. She wasn't a fan of taking off all of the skins of the apple. Her daughter, on the other hand, I'm gonna take the peel off of the apple. When I was little, she would tell me about an apple a day will make the how did it go? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I wasn't too much of a fan of just like eating straight apples, but oh my, when she made fried apples, I became a fan. I was like, these yummy apples. I got my little apple slicer thing here because I want to core it out, take the core out, and however best you take the core out, go ahead and do that. I like using this little gadget here. But when mama made the fried apples, oh, she didn't have to force me to eat any apples. In the morning time for breakfast, oh my word, it was the best. So what I'm doing is I'm just going ahead and slicing my apples. And I want to make sure that I cut as much as possible, even as I can, because I want my apples to cook all at the same rate. Just like that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up all of these apples. I have 5 pounds of apples to cut. And I'll tell you what the next step is. Now, I have been peeling and slicing away. But there's one thing I did forget to tell you. And if I'm going to be telling you the secrets, I got to tell you all my secrets. So As I am slicing the apples, one of the things that I am doing is I'm adding lemon juice. I'm adding lemon juice to my apples. Now, what does lemon do? Lemon juice helps the browning, stops the browning that takes place when the apples hit the air and starts that oxidation process. But also that lemon juice also gives it another flavor profile. So you would need 2 lemons in order to in order to make sure that you have enough lemon juice for this pie. Now, I have about 4 more apples and this one to do. So 5 more apples and we can get to the next part of our secrets. So you're making this apple pie. Brings back so much memories of my parents. My dad absolutely loved apple pie. He used to have his apple pie on Sundays with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Well, it was a little bit more than 1 scoop, but his scoop of vanilla ice cream, homemade, and his apple pie, that was dessert for him. So today, as I make this, I'm definitely thinking of my mom, all of her yummy apple dishes that she had. Some seeds there. And definitely my dad, which this apple pie is inspired me to do as I was having thoughts of him. All right, my last apple. Slicey, slicey. Now, once again, I'm using 5 pounds. Granny Smith, Honey Crisp, Golden Delicious, Pink Lady, and Gala apples. That's the 5 apples to my 5 pounds of apples that I'll be using in this yummy apple pie. Taking my lemon. Squeeze that juice in. Okay. I'm going to take 1/4 grams of sugar, which is 1/4 cup of sugar, which is 50 grams of granulated sugar. Okay, put this down. And I'm actually going to sprinkle my sugar on my apples. Taking my spatula, I'm just going to mix it up just a little. And then I'm going to set it to the side. One, I want the apples and the sugar just to marinate a little bit. The apples are going to release a little bit of its juices. Next secret. One of the reasons why you receive like a gap in between the crust and the apples, that's shrinkage, because the apples are releasing juices as it cooks. One of the ways to eliminate that is to let your apples sit for a little bit and let the juices go ahead and escape. But there's also something else that I do, which is probably a big debate. We're going to talk about that in a second. So hold on tight. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. Right now, we're going to move to talk about our pie crust. Now, I make my own pie crust. And if you want to know exactly the pie crust that I use for this pie dough, click up here. I'll also put a link in the description. But this yummy pie crust is made, and it comes together. I whipped it together really, really fast in a food processor. So flour, sugar, butter, and a secret ingredient. So in order to know that secret ingredient, definitely take a look at that video so you know what the secret ingredient is in this pie crust that is part of making this apple pie so perfect. All right, I'm going to go get my pastry mat and we're going to go ahead and roll out this pie crust. All right, taking a little bit of flour, I'm sprinkling it on my pastry mat and on my rolling pin so nothing sticks. All right. And one of the things, especially during pie season, which is like the holiday season or anytime, really, when it comes to our household, is that you can make your pie crust in advance. You know, I sometimes come down here and will make pie crust, and Jimbo the baker is like, "What are you making? Pie crust. What are you baking? Nothing." But definitely it's good to be able to, if I want to bake a pie, I can easily pop some out of the freezer and let it thaw and then get to making my pie. But if I don't, it's okay because it quickly comes together easily. The only thing that I would have to say is that you do have to let your pie dough rest. So I go ahead and let it chill in the refrigerator at least an hour before you bake, before you use it. Okay. Keep moving my pie dough because I don't want it to stick. I'm going to go ahead and roll my dough up just like that. And I'm going to go get my pie dish. All right, here's my 9-inch deep dish. And I'm just going to unroll my pie crust right on my pie dish just like that. Just like that. Now I'm going to kind of like juicer it in. I'm kind of like folding it like that, kind of pressing it down because I know shrinkage could happen. We want to make sure it's enough of the crust. So I kind of tuck it down like this. Do it like this. Now for this, I'm not going to blind bake it because I'm putting another another layer or another pie topping on top. This part I'm just going to kind of tear off, and I'll show you how we can use that a little later. All right, just like that. What I am going to do is I'm going to put this in my refrigerator just so that I can make sure that it firms up a little bit without freezing while I work on the star ingredient. Next secret. I always cook my apples 5 minutes before I put all of the sweetness in and add it to my pie dish. So let's get to cooking. On my little stove, I'm going to add 2 sticks or 1 cup of butter. Ooh. Ah. All right. Letting that butter melt on down. Yummy, yum, yum. All right. It's doing its thing. Doing a thing. Make a little pie. Let's eat tonight. Oh, let's eat tonight. All right. Once my butter completely melts down, then I'm going to go ahead and add my apples to this. Oh, yeah. Okay. My butter is just about all melty. Melty, melty. All right. We're going to go ahead and, oops, that's a piece of butter that we need now. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add my apples. It's a better way to do this. All right. And I'm just mixing. Oh, it's been 5 minutes. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar, which is 200 grams. I'm going to stir that in. I'm going to get my brown sugar. One cup of brown sugar, 200 grams. Right? Add in my brown sugar. Stir it up. Let it go for 1 more minute. And then I'm going to take this off the heat. All righty. Looking good. To the spices, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Okay. 2. I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. Is somebody baking an apple pie in here? Oh, that would be me. All right. Now, cinnamon is not the only spice we're going to be adding to this apple pie now. Come on here, nutmeg. We're going to do a teaspoon of you. Come on, allspice. We're going to do a teaspoon of that as well. All right, salt. You don't have to get salty. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. And that's really going to draw out all of the flavors that we have added. Mixy. Let's mix it up. Now I'm thickening this up with 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I went to go get my spoon so I can get all the way down and really stir it up. All right, so my egg wash is made with 1 cup of water and 2 eggs. Probably should have picked a bigger bowl, but we're gonna make this work. All right, time to clean up a little bit, wash my hands, and I'll be back with the pie crust. All right, taking some flour, sprinkling it again on my pastry mat, and sprinkling it on my rolling pin. I'm going to take the other half of my pie dough and now we're ready to roll it out. I'm telling you, I'm getting real excited about this pie. Okay. I believe we're good. We're more than good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just roll it up on my rolling pin. I'm going to let that sit right there. And I'm going to get my pie crust out the refrigerator. All right. Now I'm just taking my knife and I'm just going to dot the bottom just a little. Now it's time for another secret. This egg wash, I'm going to apply to the bottom of my pie because it helps prevent a soggy bottom. So as I mentioned earlier, cooking your apples and letting some of that juices and all of that stuff release helps with the soggy bottoms. But this secret right here definitely will help prevent a soggy bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to the bottom. Secret number, I don't know what number we on, but what we're going to do is now scoop in and kind of layer the apples into the pie. We just don't want to dump it in like that. We want to kind of scoop it in, make nice, wonderful layers. And as I'm adding the apples in, I'm taking some more butter, half a stick of butter, and I'm going to chop up the butter and begin to place it in between the different layers of my pie. Oh, whoa. Trying to tell you, tasty, yummy. It's going to be yummy. All right, let's go. Taking some butter and just layering it up. All right. Okay. Now I'm just smoothing it down. Adding in that butter. The last little bit of butter all around. All right. Taking the dough, I'm going to go ahead and roll it straight onto the pie. Yay! This extra. try to tear it off. Okay, we're going to fold the two pieces. Just like that. Just kind of tucking. And we'll come back and make the edges pretty in just a second. Okay, so making like your knuckles and your thumb, kind of going to push to kind of crimp the edges. All right, now these little edges, that I saved, scoop my pie over. I see some apple juice, apple pie juice on my mat, but that's okay. Okay, so I rolled that out just a tad. Now what I'm going to do, first I'm going to put some slits into my pie because this is going to help the air and the juices and all of that stuff to release so it can cook nicely. So add in some little old slits just like that. But this right here, I'm going to make some leaves. So kind of making an oval shape. Then I'm going to kind of make the vein of the leaf like that. And then kind of go down like that. So I'm going to sit that right there. I'm going to make another leaf. It's a little skinnier leaf. And again, just making one line. And then some little slits. Just like that. And put that right there. Then we're going to make like a stem. So that's one. And I make another stem. All right. I'll put that right there and I'll see if I want another stem on that. So with my egg wash, I'm going to go ahead and put some egg wash on my decorations. Kind of put it down just like that. Egg wash on my leaf. On my other leaf. I'm going to make one more leaf. Roll this out, and now I'm going to make 2 apples. All right, after making my 1 apple, I think that's all I need. So put a little egg wash there. All right. I'm going to save this because I can make a mini pie or fry it up. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, right? Making sure my little slits are there. Okay. Now I'm going to take some egg wash. And all over my pie it goes. Now, taking some raw sugar, I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. Now it's time to cook this apple pie. I'm going to put it in the oven on 400 degrees and let it bake for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to reduce the heat to 350 degrees and let it go ahead and do a slow cook for 70 minutes. Now it's time to...
Who am I? Okay, babe, go ahead. Say what you got.
This here is
Jimbo the Baker, but I'm back.
And we're about to dive in and cut into this amazing apple pie.
I'm about to dive in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. One more thing that I want to be able to share, one last secret, is that before... It's a secret, so I should whisper. Okay. So the last secret is, in order to have the most perfect, yummiest, tastiest pie.
Deliciousness.
Yes. You have to allow your pie to completely cool down. As much as you want to dig into the pie right when you take it out, you must let it cool down and set up. Wait,
man.
Wait. All right. Let's cut in. I'm ready to taste. Yes. It's getting serious in here. Ooh. Yes. All right.
Just for you right here. You get this little slither.
What is that?
Get that little slither now. That's for me and the boys. Yeah. All right.
This little piece, I don't know.
Chew on this for a little bit there. Ooh, nah. Ooh, nah. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I'm tearing stuff up, but yeah. I'm gonna cut me a real piece now.
Yeah, because I get this little. What was he doing? Just everything for him?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed, he feed the needy now. Boned apple teeth.
For sure. Mm.
Hot diggity dog.
Mm.
Now that's a pie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that cinnamon hit you on the lips.
Mm.
Make your taste buds holler for $1.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm.
So what you supposed to say to the folks now? I got to go.
What am I supposed to be saying? I don't even know.
If you like this video, that's what you say.
If you like this video, please remember to subscribe. And we will see you in the next one.